Yes, Namit.
My pranams to all the Atmajotis. Today I would like to chant and contemplate Shloka 2.30, which is Dehi Nityama Vadyoyam. So now I would like to share the word to word meaning. Dehi, indweller. Nityam, always.
Sorry
Avadya,
for interrupting, Namit. Don't you have the shloka?
I think I have missed it.
No problem. I can temporarily share my screen so that you can chant the shloka, and then we can share your screen, which shows the meaning. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can chant the shloka, and after that, we can share your screen.
Okay. Dehi nityamavadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitum
Excellent. Yeah. Now you can go to your screen.
Yeah. So now let us first understand the word to word meaning. So Dehi means indweller. Nityam means always. Avadya means indestructible. Ayam means this. Dehe means in the body. Sarvasya means all. Bharata is divine light embodied, the one who is aware of the true Brahman. So what this shloka means is who is there in the body, the true self who is there in the body can never be killed. Like in the previous shlokas we have understood in one of the shlokas that it can't be moistened by water, or if we put fire also we can't kill. So that's why Shri Krishna is telling it, no need to be sad if any living being dies, because the true self still remains. So the person who dwells in the body, the Parabrahma still remains. So this picture, for example, in this picture we can see pots and the sun. For example, if I remove a pot, that doesn't mean that the sun is gone. The sun still remains. Only the pot is gone. Similarly, when the body is gone, the supreme self still remains. Hari Om.
Excellent, Namit. Very good. Now, what is the practical application of this for you?
I can't that my true nature, or I can't be I am eternal and I can't be killed by anything.
Excellent. What else does this help you to? How do you apply this realization?
So that realize that I am eternal and go beyond the boundaries.
Okay. So, what does it mean on a day-to-day basis? Now you're going to school, you have homework to do, you have friends to play with, you have aspirations about what you want to become in life. So, what
Yeah.
does it all that mean?
Um, that
So, when you realized you are that eternal self, does any of these activities change? Nature of activities change?
yeah, it does. So like for example, homework. I don't want to do homework, but when I realize that I'm the true self, then all the qualities of a gnani comes in me, like focus, interest in doing whatever I'm doing. So then I do my homework with interest.
Excellent. So each of the shloka, please see how to apply it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Does anyone else have a question for Namit? Okay. So this is a session where each one of you is both a teacher as well as a student. Each one of us. So when Namit was sharing, he was like our teacher. And we all can ask questions so that one, it helps Namit also to deepen in that understanding, and for you also to understand it using your question as a vehicle. All right. So that way we help each other here. We stabilize each other. Because a shloka is not merely a shloka. We are not learning the shloka for the sake of learning the shloka. We are learning the shloka so that it opens the deeper insight within us. And only that insight is the experience that you can carry through your life as you go later into other activities. All right? Yes, Manya.
Vijayji, I had a question. The shloka is also about, it explains like when somebody dies, then it's not really, that it's like the soul, the real nature of the person never actually dies, it's indestructible, and we learned how exactly it is so. But then isn't it always like when somebody passes away or dies, it's not really that we're feeling bad for him or sorry for him? Yeah, under some circumstances, yes, but mostly aren't we mourning on the qualities that he had or the duties that the person was performing when he was alive, and now that those duties are not going to be performed, and it's sometimes our life may get a little difficult because those duties are not performed. For example, like uh, let's take it's just an example, but then let's take an example of some school teacher. So if she dies, then it's not really me feeling bad that she is distracted or she's like no more. It's not really that way, but isn't it like she was teaching me so well, but then now that she isn't there, I will not be able to learn from her, and it's kind of doubtful that another person might come who will teach as good as her. It's more that I'm feeling bad for myself because I was getting something from her and now that stopped.
Good. So your question is? What is your question?
The question is like how do we deal with that, because this we're not really actually mourning for the soul getting destroyed or not getting destroyed, but it's the qualities. But how do we deal with that, because we're not really having the problem with the soul?
All right. Does Namit or Aditya want to share your view on the question first?
Sir, I didn't understand the question clearly.
All right. So the question, okay, do you want to phrase the question first, Aditya?
So I think she's asking, who are we really mourning for? Is it the person's soul, or is it the person's qualities and what they have achieved in their life and what we gain from that?
Excellent. So is the mourning for whatever the person meant to me? So the person was a teacher. What is that I was getting? Teaching. So am I mourning because I'm now losing the teaching from the teacher? Or am I really mourning for the individual who passed away? Who are we mourning? That is that the question?
Right. Also, how do we stop that suffering?
How do we stop that suffering? Very good. Is the question clear to you now, Namit?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
what I think is it matters on every person. It depends on each and everybody. Like few are selfless and they think about others, but few are selfish and only they think that this person won't be like. For example, they're a teacher. They won't be teaching me that only my part of their life will be focusing, and so I think it depends also on the quality of the person who mourns, because whoever are selfish, they just think about, oh, this person taught me, so only they don't think like, oh, the person is dead, they won't see as an individual. So yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, Manya, go ahead.
Like, it's not only from the student perspective, also let's take the example of the child of the teacher, but also, isn't it like, I'll give an example. Suppose a son wants to go abroad and study, then the father has to let go the son to go abroad and study because it's for the betterment of the son. He will be getting more opportunities, but then the father won't be able to see the son again. But the love is missing, right? So the same way, it's not really selfish, but who are we really? What exactly is happening? I don't know if I'm able to put my view or my question correctly, or am I phrasing it better? But I think you got it.
Okay, let's hear what Aditya has to say on this.
Yeah, I feel people usually mourn not that they're going to lose that person's qualities and like what they did to them, but like the relationship they had with them and the feelings they had for them. I think that's what people usually mourn for.
That's what you think. Okay. See, in any situation, one is we have to understand the mechanism and who is involved in the mechanism. Okay, let me clarify this. So let's say I have a watch, and let's say it's a very dear watch to me. It's a mechanical watch which requires, let's say, turning, and then it will start working. Every day you have to do that. It's such a mechanical watch. Has any one of you seen the internals of a mechanical watch? All the mechanism that is in a mechanical watch. Has anybody seen?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Namit?
Sir, I couldn't hear the question.
You did not hear what?
I couldn't hear the question clearly.
Which question? Who did you not hear? Now, many of us.
Just now, Manya asked a new question, right?
No, her new question is supplement to the old question. Her confusion is, what is really happening when we say we are mourning? Are we mourning for the whatever the service we were getting from that other person? Is that what we are mourning? Or, like Aditya also said, and Manya also referred, the feeling, the qualities that we were seeing in the other person, no more we'll be able to experience those qualities. Are we mourning for that? What are we truly mourning for? That's our question.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Coming back. So therefore, what I am saying is, we need to always understand two things very clearly. One is the mechanism. Whatever that we are talking about, what is the mechanism? How it happens? And then, who is involved in that mechanism? Okay, two separate clarity that we need to have. So first, let us understand what is meant by mechanism. So therefore, I asked a simple question. Has any one of you seen internals of a mechanical clock? So you said no. So therefore, I have put some pictures in front of you. So typically, this is how a internal of a mechanical watch is. Can you notice? There are so many gears, so many levers, so many small moving pieces. Can you see all of it? Yeah, for example, this picture. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's say this is a watch that was given to you by your father or grandfather or somebody very close to you, and you've been cherishing it for a long time, and you love this watch. It means so much for you. One, because it looks so nice when you wear it. People have complimented, hey, it looks so wonderful, when you wear it. Another thing is you have a feeling that it's my grandfather or somebody who was given to me with a lot of love. I need to protect it. Let's say one day it stops working. So now, what are the choices in front of you? You can sit and mourn, yo, it stopped working. I don't know why it is not working. Now, what is the source of the mourning for you? Why are you mourning at that point in time?
The emotional attachment you have to the watch.
One is you have an emotional attachment to the watch. You feel so much. Okay. Now, is there any other reason why you are mourning? Let's say you are a small child. You haven't yet seen that when things break, you can also fix them. And when you know how to fix, then you can get it fixed. Let's say you don't know that. Then your crying will continue, isn't it? Ayo, I lost my watch, my dear watch, I lost it. But now let us take a slightly different viewpoint. Now the same child has seen different things getting broken and also has seen them getting fixed by taking to somebody who can repair it. Now let's say you are that. Now will you still continue to mourn?
No.
No. Now what will you do? What is your action?
Go to the person who can fix it and find out if the damage is fixable.
Excellent. So you will take it to the person who can fix it. Now let's say the mechanic. You take this watch to a mechanic and the mechanic opens it. As soon as he opens, will he also start crying?
Mm,
Why? Why will he not cry?
he doesn't have.
Maybe because he knows to fix it, but mainly because he has no attachment to the watch.
Very good points. Two important realizations. A, no attachment. B, he knows the mechanism. So, because he knows the mechanism, he will tell you, hey, this is not a major deal. See this lever has to be constantly pulling this gear, and this spring is worn out. I will fix this spring. Now you will see this working. Something like that he will tell you, isn't it? And second, because he doesn't have that emotional attachment. What will happen if I lose this? What will happen? All that feeling of fear is not in his mind. So therefore, he can sit very peacefully, look at the watch. If you notice how a person who fixes these kind of mechanisms, they have to have a lot of focus. For example, see, the watch itself is so small on your hand, and within that you have all these mechanisms. Some of the parts cannot even be seen easily by eye, so they wear a small glass apparatus, which is more like a microscope, which enhances the vision. With only one eye they look at it, and they use very small tonsils and others to kind of fix and move. So you need a very sharp mind. So in the sharp mind, if you're constantly getting worried about, ayo, my watch, what will happen? Ayo, my watch, what will happen? Then you will not be able to focus on the work. So two important qualities we can learn. What are they? Non-attachment and awareness of the mechanism. So this is what has enabled the watch repairer not to be worried or disturbed, but very calmly and patiently look at it and fix it and give it to you. Now, this is the story I've told. How is this story related to what Manya's question is? Is this at all related? Or this is totally unrelated?
It is relevant and yeah, it's relevant.
How is it relevant? What is the relevance you see? What is the connection you see between these two?
Like in both the situations, the person is mourning.
Correct.
The watch is like a dying person who you
Come closer and speak so that they can hear.
the watch is like a
Come closer.
like
Yeah.
like a dying person.
Yeah, come closer. I'm not sure if they can hear you. Speak
The
louder.
watch is like a the person who is dying, and the mechanic can be like a doctor,
Mhm.
for example,
Mhm.
basically, and the doctor.
But what if the doctor cannot save the patient?
the the doctor still doesn't have any worries because they don't have any emotional attachment. And they're aware of the mechanism.
They're aware of the mechanics. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but now Manya will say, no. If it is doctor's own son or daughter, he will feel sad.
Yeah. Similarly, if it's just like if it's the mechanic's own watch, they would feel sad.
So then it is still not addressing the situation that Manya is referring to. So you still feel you'll be bound to feel sad. If it is somebody else's watch, you're okay. But if it is your own watch, you'll feel sad. Is that what you're inferring?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the understanding for Manya?
Like there are two different situations. First one is the mechanic thinks that he can fix it. Let's just take this example that no matter what problem arises, the mechanic is able to fix it. Then yes, he doesn't feel sad at all because no matter how emotionally attached he is to the watch, or maybe it's somebody else's watch, he knows how to fix it, so he won't really feel bad or sad even for a bit.
How do you apply this analogy to the question that you raised, Manya?
So, if you realize the truth and you know the mechanics of life and you know it well, also if you have some person who has knowledge about this, which is basically a spiritual guru, then the loss of the watch or something going wrong with the watch won't really affect you materially because you know how to fix it or you know how to handle it.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. So now let us see the analogy with respect to the question that Manya asked. So, mechanism, we need to understand the mechanism clearly. And to understand the mechanism, we should be unattached. If I am emotionally attached to the mechanism, then I will not be able to give complete attention and focus. So what is the mechanism we are talking about here? The mechanism here is that of birth and death. Because that is what we are talking about. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam. So the one who is residing inside is not dying, but the external operators that you see is dying, is what Sri Krishna is saying. So let us examine this slightly differently. So now, let's imagine for a time being, you're one of the audience sitting and watching a drama stage. And let's assume your first time watching this drama, okay? And let's assume this is Mahabharata drama. You're sitting for the first time you're watching, a character enters and he introduces him as, I am Shishupala. I don't like Krishna. Today I'm going to insult Krishna. And another character enters, Krishna, and Shishupala is insulting Krishna. And you see Krishna being very silent. And you also see another character, Shishupala's mother, coming and seeking forgiveness from Krishna, saying, please forgive my son. And you hear Krishna saying, I will forgive him till the 100th mistake. After that, I will have to punish him. So you hear all this. You're seeing, you're just an audience. You're just watching all this happening on the drama stage. Now, scenes change, so many things happen. In another scene, you hear Shishupala come and say, this Krishna is useless fellow. I've been insulting every time. He has no power. Everybody is unnecessarily afraid. I will insult him once again. So you hear all the dialogue. And this time, when he insults, on the screen you see Krishna's Sudarshana Chakra cutting off his head. This is the scene that you see, all right? From there to here. So, as an audience, when Shishupala entered into the drama stage, till then Shishupala was not in your mind as a character, as an actor, as a role. Now that role appeared. It is like birth. You did not know that such a character is there, such an actor is there. That is like birth. Now, on the drama stage, when his head was cut, oh, no more that actor will appear on the drama stage. Death. So what is really birth and death? Appearance and disappearance of certain roles, isn't it?
Right.
Similarly, any object in your life, they appear and disappear. And when they no more can appear, you call it as death. Otherwise, you call it as right now they're not there. Yes, Namit, you have a question related to this?
Sir, you told birth and death is just like appearance and disappearance. So, like, if a person is not in front of me, is it death?
Very good question. So right now, as you are speaking, before I answer that, looks like Manya also has some question. Yes, Manya.
Not really question, but then I just got a thought. I wanted to clarify if it's right or wrong. So the appearance or disappearance of the role or the character, it could be this way, like for the first screen or that particular scene, the first scene, it's Shishupala and then Shishupala is a child and then Krishna is there and his mom asking for the promise that he'll forgive his 100 mistakes, right? Then let's say Shishupala and his mom is not there in that in the scene number 2, and there's Krishna and some other Leela related to him is going on the stage. So the appearance and the disappearance, what it actually mean, like when the character will no more come on the stage, he will never appear on the stage for this particular drama, then it can be considered as death.
That is what you are defining as death. Please understand, that is what you are defining as death. Some kind of a permanent disappearance is what you are calling as death. Correct?
Particular drama.
In that particular drama. Correct? But is that the truth? Let us examine that. Let's examine that. So now, what really happened? As a child, you were seeing this, and you thought, oh, Shishupala came and Shishupala died. That is what you thought. So now instead of Shishupala, because you've been seeing the drama, Shishupala has been acting wickedly, you say it's okay. But now instead of Shishupala, let's say you see Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu come and Abhimanyu die, you will feel, oh, you're so sad. Such a nice fellow. And you may start even crying. Abhimanyu died. You may start crying. Then your parents who are with you, they take you to the green room, to the stage behind, where all the actors are dressing up. There you go and you see that same Abhimanyu who died few moments back is there. He's not changing the dress. Now will your cry stop? Of course. So what is the difference? As a child, you saw and you thought Abhimanyu died. But what really happened? There was an actor who acted like Abhimanyu, and now that actor is still there. Oh, it was all just acting. You came to that clarity. That is how, by looking at the drama, you became free from the suffering of, the character taking birth and character dying. Same is happening in your life. What is that you call as birth? Let's examine birth little deeply. So, for example, Manya, when were you born?
On 20th September 2006.
2006. In the laptop that you have right now, do you have any of your childhood photos?
Yeah, I do.
Can you please share?
Yeah, 1 second.
Is it okay for all of you if we take another 15-20 minutes?
Sir, it's okay if you take 5 more minutes for me.
Okay, because we need another 10-15 minutes. So when you have to drop, you can drop.
Yeah, I can wait till 10:15.
Okay. Are you searching for photos, Manya?
Yes.
Manya, they don't have to be perfect. Just 2-3 photos.
It's like somewhere in some particular folder, it's like inside, but then I don't know which folder exactly, because there's so many folders.
Okay. How about Namit? Does Namit have any photos on his computer right now?
No, sir.
Because the intention is not to look at the photo. Intention is to realize something through that. All right. So then let me share my screen. Manya, is it okay?
Yeah, sure, Vijayji. I'm not finding any photo.
No problem. Don't worry. Okay. So do you see a photo? Do you see a picture? Manya, Namit, Aditya?
We do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Who do you think this is?
Aditya?
Okay. Namit? Who? Aditya. Okay. Now, you also have Aditya here in the video. Does this Aditya look at all anything like this Aditya? Does he look at all anything like that?
No.
So many things have changed. So can we say, for the sake of understanding, this Aditya has disappeared and this Aditya is there in that place? We can say that, can we not?
Yeah, kind of.
So this Aditya is no more there. And this Aditya is the only reality as of now. This Aditya is no more there at all. this Aditya has completely disappeared.
Right.
You'll never be able to meet this Aditya except in the photo and the video,
Right.
which is nothing but photo and video is an external memory. Similar to that, you have an internal memory in which this is Aditya you have imprinted. You have a photo and video of this Aditya. And you keep saying this Aditya and this Aditya are the same. But when you look at it like this, are they the same?
No.
Not at all. Everything is different. But you keep on saying it is the same, it is the same, it is the same. Therefore, you have a sense of continuity. Otherwise, for all practical purposes, as a mechanism of understanding reality, this Aditya has completely disappeared. And this Aditya at this point of time is the only reality. And even this Aditya at this point of time is that reality. So for example, all of you look at your own hand, your own, maybe on the in the Zoom session now you can see your video. Look at your own video. So is that you? That's what you say. That is me. But like this photo, you are also constantly changing. Here I put two pictures which are so contrast with each other. A very young photo and a relatively older photo. So you can see the contrast very distinctly. Whereas if I did not have such a contrast right now, as we are speaking, your body is made up of trillions of living cells. As you are speaking, many of them, billions of them are going away and new cells are coming in their place. So can we say from the mechanism of understanding standpoint that right at this moment, as you are speaking, your own body is both dying and taking birth? Can it be said like that, Manya?
Yeah.
So now tell me, is there any moment where death and life, death and birth are not happening together?
No.
The previous moment is no more there. In that place, a new moment has come. And by the time you see the new moment, this new moment has become already the previous moment. So when you look at it, birth and death are always together in life. Every moment. This moment seems like the present reality, but this moment has already died and given birth to the next moment. Where there is birth, there is death. But you, the one who is aware of this every moment, when I ask Aditya, who is this? He will say it is Aditya. Who is this? It's also me, Aditya. So the sense of Aditya is continuing. So the sense of Aditya cannot be in the body. If it was in the body, then as soon as this body disappeared, Aditya also should have disappeared. So the sense of Aditya is definitely not in the body. The sense of Aditya cannot also be in the mind, because the mind is also constantly piece of information that is changing. So the sense of Aditya, it is me only, it is me only. Who is the one who's giving? It must be you who cannot be the changing. Isn't it?
Right.
So that you is the unchanging. And this you, whatever you see from outside, is the changing. So the changing is constantly changing. So therefore, birth and death is a constant reality of life, every moment of life. There are no two moments which are alike. Every moment is a fresh drawing on the canvas of life. Every moment is a fresh drawing, new drawing. And the moment what is the feeling of birth and death? You want to hold on to some drawing and say, this drawing should be the way it is. And that is the fundamental cause of suffering. Because the very nature of life is constantly changing the drawing. But what is that you are saying? Oh, this piece of drawing should be as it is. And that is the root cause of suffering about birth and death in life. Otherwise, every moment there is birth, every moment there is death. The Manya who came into this session is no more there. The Aditya who came into this session is no more there. As we are speaking, a new Manya, a new Aditya. And the one who is noticing this is the one who is saying, that is me, that is me, that is me, that is me. That's why you have a sense of continuity. Otherwise, every moment there is a change.
Right.
Now, does it make sense, Manya, to your question?
It does.
Okay, now please tell me what is that you understood?
Like somebody, like any person, he actually never really dies because he's dying every second and then he's taking birth every second. But then it's actually the unchanging that we must notice. Also, it's like he has always been dying and he's always taking birth. Plus, it's only that particular role that disappears, but then he or she, the main, the real person, like he will always be existing, is indestructible.
And that real person is you. And you are not a person. Because what do we mean by a person? Somebody who has eyes and ears and nose and arms and legs and body is who we call as a person.
Right. The light.
But you are not a thing. You're not something that can be seen by the five senses. You're beyond the five senses.
Right.
So you're not any of the thing that you see. Because a thing, anything has a birth and death. You are no thing. You are nothing. You are the awareness. The one who is constantly seeing this picture and saying, it's me. This picture, it's me. You are that awareness. You are that nothing. And you're constantly noticing various things change. And where do you notice all of them change? In so-called your mind. So all through your life, you've seen the world only in your mind. And when something appears and disappears, you label it. You label it as, oh, they've just gone away, they'll come back. Or you label it and say, oh, they've disappeared completely. But truly speaking, there is never the same thing that you are ever experiencing again, ever again. This moment is the only moment where you can experience everything as they are. Because the very next moment, none of these remain the same. There is always a change in existence.
Right. I got it, Vijayji.
Very nice. Aditya, what is your understanding?
Similar to what Manya said,
Come closer and
we should always
and be open and speak up. Yeah.
We always notice only the changing part of people. We never notice the thing that remains constant. So we think the physical is what remains constant, but that is also not true, because like the example you gave, like this picture is totally different from what I look right now. So the actual permanence is only inside us, and even when we die, that permanence doesn't go. It's just another change, which is a lot more.
When you say even when
different.
we die, who is dying?
The body, even when the body dies, which is a lot more.
What do you mean by body dies? Body is constantly dying.
Body is constantly dying, but when it stops functioning,
Hmm.
when we notice that, we think even the essence of that person is gone, but that's not true.
Who is saying that? The one who is noticing from outside.
Yeah, the people who are mourning.
So the one who is noticing, saying there is birth and death, is noticing birth and death because they still haven't gotten the knowledge. They haven't yet realized the truth. So the one who realizes the truth is free from birth and death.
Yeah.
How long will you keep on crying, looking at the drama? Ayo, Shishupala died. Ayo, Abhimanyu died. How long will you cry? Until you go to the green room and you realize, this is what is happening. Oh, now I get it. Now there is no more sadness for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything more, Manya?
Not really, Vijayji.
Okay. Did you have something to present on this shloka 2.30?
Yeah, I had. But
Do you want to quickly present that?
Yeah.
Which one?
Little lower. Yeah, the glass. Yeah. So my example for this was like whenever we let's say you have a phone and then you drop your phone with the screen guard, and then the screen guard breaks. We don't like go crying because our phone is broken. We know that the screen guard is like a lot less expensive than your phone was, and you know that your phone is safe. So we don't even feel bad about much, and we just replace the screen guard and move on and stuff. Similarly, we our body represents the phone itself, and sorry, our body represents the screen guard, and the essence, our true self, the Atman, which is the phone. It never really dies.
Excellent. And to realize that you are that essence is the path of freedom. Then you will know how to blend with the change that is happening. Because the nature of the world is constant change. Every moment there is a change. And the suffering in life is because of two fundamental misunderstanding about life. One, that I am a changing entity. So I suffer because the changing entity is constantly changing. We cry. Ayo, they were such a good friend. Now they've become such lousy people. Why? Because we think that people cannot change. Because there is a changing aspect of anybody. Because their mind can continuously change. Whether it's a human mind or animal mind or any mind can continuously change. So mind changes. But because we are only constantly fixated on the mind, on the outer form, we suffer. So to realize that I am different from the changing is the only way by which you can truly become free from any suffering. Whether the suffering is because of the birth and death, or suffering is because of the temporary situations that come and go. Situations come and go. It's like a birth and death. You are writing 10th exam. That's like a birth of 10th exam. You completed 10th exam. That's like a death of 10th exam. So like that, situations also have a birth and death. So it's not just people. Situations also have a birth and death. So because you've realized you are that unchanging, you now accept whatever situation that is coming, and see that that is a nature of life, that, various situations, people, things come and go. You then look at, like a good clock mechanic, how do I learn the mechanism, and how do I do the best, as long as I have to be playing this game. As long as you want to be playing this game, you look at the mechanism and see, okay, I will learn about it. I'll master it. Now I'm an apprentice. Now I'll become a master repairer. Then after that, I will see how to help others also to repair. So like that, you then make your life a life of freedom. And through that life of freedom, others can benefit from you. Is this all making sense?
It is making sense.
All right. Any other questions or any other doubts? Anybody?
No, Vijayji.
Excellent. Then we'll end the contemplation here.